What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we're starting off with a brand new AAA game coming to Switch, PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, at least according to the publisher 2K. It's a AAA title, so it's called LEGO 2K Drive. Now, this is an open world driving adventure game due out May 19th of this year. So man, this was just announced and then about to be released, and honestly, I like this. I like this more than the 2-3 year lead up that we need for AAA games, or even sometimes lower than that. So publisher 2K and developer Visual Concepts have announced LEGO 2K Drive, an open world AAA driving adventure game for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam, officially launching on May 19th, like I stated. Now let's talk about some of these additions, because this is where it gets a bit interesting. So 3 editions will be available for the launch of the game. You have the standard edition, which is $69.99 on PS5 and Xbox Series, and then $59.99 on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Now you have the awesome edition, is $99.99, which includes a new vehicle flare, in-game minifigure, and 1-year drive pass. So they're doing full-priced game plus also expansion drive passes here. Now let's also talk about the awesome Rivals edition, which is $119.99, and it includes multiple vehicles, a vehicle flare, multiple in-game minifigurines, and the 1-year drive pass. Now the 1-year drive pass will introduce a new biome plus 4 individual post-launch seasons of drive content, each with new vehicles and themes. It can also be purchased separately. Now pre-orders include the Aqua Dirt Racer Pack, which features the Aqua Dirt Racer Street Car, Off-Road Car, and Racer Boat. Now this pack is included in the Awesome Edition and Awesome Rivals Edition regardless of pre-order. Now LEGO 2K Drive will feature both single and multiplayer gameplay, a variety of different biomes, races, mini games, challenges, collectibles, things to destroy, and even a story. The game will also feature a diverse customization system that allows players to build any vehicle they like with over 1,000 unique LEGO pieces. The game also features cars from LEGO City, Creator, Speed Champions, and even the McLaren Solus GT and F1 LM. In multiplayer, players can race their vehicles alongside friends in a robust co-op experience offered alongside competitive multiplayer with up to 6 players. The game will also support 2-player split screen multiplayer. So you guys are seeing some screenshots here with this game, and I find it interesting because they're really kind of going all out a bit with this. We don't have a video as of the time that I'm recording this, but hopefully I have something for you guys. But very interesting to see what they're doing with the pricing. You have the PS5 Xbox Series is going to be $70 for this game, licensed LEGO game, and then $60 on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. They also have drive passes and all this different type of stuff for 1 year. So I'm guessing there's going to be a 2nd year or 3rd year if the game is successful. And I find it interesting. I think that there's a lot of different additions. It kind of seems a bit pricey with it, but we still need to kind of wait and see more of what they're offering. They really just talked a lot about the extra content and didn't actually talk a lot about the base content in terms of what you're going to get in the game and what each one offers. So we're gonna have to wait and see for more information on that, but it does look like it's going to be a pretty cool open-ended racing game that you can play with family and friends. I mean, this is probably something that you can play with a son or a daughter or with cousins, nephews, whatever the case is, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Looks like it's going to have great controls and it's going to look very smooth, and it's coming to everything here, and they're calling it a AAA racing experience here, so we'll see everything it offers. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? But speaking of great experiences, we have a massive rumor to talk about here, and I didn't want to discuss this until I kind of looked a little bit more into it, and that is the rumor of SMT4, SMT4 Final, SMT3 HD Remaster, and SMT5 all getting new platforms and or HD versions. So the rumor stems from a guy on Twitter, at least it seems, but it doesn't really look too legitimate in terms of the picture that was shown here. Just because, one, there's no PlayStation. You guys are seeing this right here. There's no PlayStation at all, which SMT3 HD, the Nocturne HD Remaster, that's already on PlayStation, so understandable, but it's just coming to Xbox. So is that an Xbox Game Pass deal? Same thing with SMT5. It's just coming to Xbox, not coming to PlayStation. Is that an Xbox Game Pass type of deal? Seems a bit weird to me. Now, SMT4 and SMT4 Final or SMT4 Apocalypse, both of those games coming to Xbox and also Nintendo Switch with HD remasters or potentially just the game itself ported over. Not really sure about this. Now, here's what we do know. I went back and looked at some of my videos that I've done on this topic with SMT4, SMT4 Final, SMT4 Apocalypse, same game, just different regions in terms of the naming, and where it could go, or even SMT5. And I know that based off of what the developers said in their end of 2022, so their big ambitions, they wanted to expand SMT. They had some surprises. I think that after the huge success of SMT5, it makes sense to get SMT5 maybe out on other platforms, especially if Microsoft is going to pay for it. And this is all hypothetical speaking, guys. This is not as if this is true or it's 100% or anything like that. Now, there was also the Nvidia leak, which did say something about SMT5 coming to other platforms, but from what I understand, it was PlayStation and PC. But once again, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But I do expect at some point SMT5 will go to some other platforms, whether it's just PC or Xbox or PlayStation. I do expect that. The game has sold well over 1 million units on the Nintendo Switch. It's the best selling SMT game of all time, and SMT has not been any more popular than right now at this point, with SMT5 crossing that 1 million units in about 5 to 6 months too. It wasn't like it took like a year plus or anything. It was fairly quickly, and it's been discounted here and there. You can pick it up usually for like 30 or 40 bucks depending on where you go. Make sure you watch out for that physical edition. Who knows how much longer that's going to be around. But I do feel that it's time for maybe that game to come to other platforms and more people to play SMT5. Now, SMT4 and SMT4 Apocalypse, that would be the difficult thing, because those are crusty Nintendo 3DS games, and it's been over a decade for one of them with SMT4 and been quite some time since SMT4 Apocalypse. So I'm not exactly sure how they're going to go about that. Is that going to be an HD remaster? Is that going to be a remake? Is it just going to be a straight up port of the game? We're just going to have to wait and see what they do. But we have seen more willingness from Atlas to bring back some of these PSP, some of these PS Vita, some of these 3DS games. Like, we've seen them kind of do that. We saw Persona 3 and Persona 4 finally come to modern platforms, so I do think that it's possible that they might want to bring back some of these games, but we're just going to have to wait on that. SMT3 Nocturne HD Remaster, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I would hope they would come out on PC and also on Xbox, but we'll see once again. And in this rumor from this guy, Felipe, he puts Windows, but then there's also a Steam logo in what you can see here: Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch, Windows, and also Steam. So very interesting to see if this is actually going to happen. Once again, I have reported on this before on the possibilities, but I'm not so sure about this actual slide in terms of where the origins of this slide is from. I'm not sure if that is real. It does not look very official or anything like that, but you never know. We're gonna have to just wait and see on it. But I would expect some ports of some of these classic or somewhat new SMT games with SMT5 coming to other platforms. Now, let's talk about some stuff that we know that is confirmed, because I'm excited for this, guys, because Fire Emblem Engage Expansion Pass Wave 4, yes, the Fell Xenologue, it is going to be here sooner than you know it, April 5th. According to Nintendo. Plus, we have a brand new trailer showing off the game, and it looks really cool. So we got new scenarios, characters, locations, maps, class types, and more. This is the expansion to Fire Emblem you've been waiting for. So, Fire Emblem Engage Expansion Pass Wave 4 will launch on April 5th. Publisher Nintendo and developer Intelligent Systems have announced. Now, Wave 4 will include the new story scenario, Fell Xenologue, new characters, locations, and maps, and additional class types. Now, Fire Emblem Engage is now available for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm very interested in this because I think that Fire Emblem Engage, when it first launched, there was obviously a lot of talk around the Metacritic score being 80, which is lower for a modern and Fire Emblem game. Then you also saw people talking about some of the dialogue and some of the other things, and will this game have the legs that Fire Emblem Three Houses had? Now, we don't have any sales updates at this point outside of the initial launch, where it did pretty much either hit or outperform Fire Emblem Three Houses in most regions. It was right there in terms of physical sales in Japan, a little bit above Three Houses all those number of years ago, but we don't have the digital sales, which is also very good apparently. Fire Emblem Engage was the top selling game for quite some time on the eShop charts back in January and into February as well. So I do feel that Fire Emblem Engage is doing well. Plus, I still see people discussing Fire Emblem Engage. It still trends on Twitter. People still talk about strategy and different things they're doing. And I think that's because of the superb gameplay. I think that the gameplay has never been better in Fire Emblem. And then you top that off with actually having replay value with maps that you can go to and different multiplayer options and just a lot of different things that you can get back into to play the game. The Tower of Trials mode, that's really cool. And then you have the DLC stuff that kind of mixes it in and mixes up your teams. You have a lot of different combinations with different characters. I think that it provides one of the most overall complete experiences when it comes to gameplay with Fire Emblem. That is when you play through the single player campaign and also end game content. So very happy with that. And this Fel Xenologue looks incredible. Everything looks really smooth, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in terms of what's happening with the story. Characters that were enemies in the main game are also now going to be people that you team up with. You're going to have to fight against people that you think are potentially resembling your own allies. Oh my goodness, new classes. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see what they do there. You have dragons playing a part into the combat, so we're going back to Fire Emblem Fates and everything. Very excited when it comes down to this, and I cannot wait to see more about these characters and what is going on. It looks phenomenal, so shout outs there to Nintendo. But from going from looking phenomenal to looking absolutely weird, but also really cool in the same vein, there is a brand new game that has the craziest setup. It's called Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution, and it's coming to PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and it's due out this year, August 10th in Japan. So Compile Hearts, those crazy peeps over there, have announced Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution for PS5, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch. The latest issue of the weekly Famitsu has revealed it's launching officially in Japan on August 10th. Now, let's talk about this because once again, this setup is insane. So Hyperdimension Neptunia Game Maker R Evolution is a spin-off starring adult Neptune and set during an era of competing game studios after 3 game developer goddesses lost the race for market share in game sales and went under. Adult Neptune, a traveler of many dimensions who suddenly appears in their world, is tasked with reviving the fallen developer when the 3 goddesses ask her to become their president. Will she be able to save them from being labeled failure goddesses and dropping off the map? The new goddesses are illustrated by Tsunako, who also created Neptune. Players will be able to enjoy enhanced dungeon exploration, game studio management, and more alongside them. Your party consists of 4 characters. Some dungeons include fields like cities and forests. Players will be able to travel at high speed by motorcycle, and some dungeons even have racing segments. For management parts, the goal is to grow the small developer victory via various elements such as scouting staff, game development, expanding the company building, and more. Now, here are the confirmed characters in the game. You have adult Neptune. Her role as a company president also serves as a means of finding the Nep note, which she dropped. She is a wandering insect hunter with an awakened form reminiscent of a butterfly. Jarga is the next character, a cool girl who considers herself the best calculator in the world. She prefers to talk using abbreviations like GGDD, Gongo, Doodan, Absurd. She handles production and public relations. You have Lidio, a mad scientist who spews venom with a smile. She considers herself the most sensible person in the world. She handles programming and graphics. Cure, and I probably said that wrong, has gotten a little bigger. She was sealed in the Nep note by adult Neptune, but has been freed and is hiding at the Pirate Maker's base. Now, this game is looking absolutely crazy. I think they're definitely just trying to have a bit of fun here. I've seen the Neptunia games before and I don't really play them, but this is the first time where I'm actually like, okay, I think I want to play a Neptunia game based on how crazy this is. So what do you guys think about all the different information that we went over? What are you most excited for? I know for me, Fire Emblem is going to be super cool, so I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully those SMT rumors turn out to be true, because I'd love to play SMT4 and SMT4 Final on my Nintendo Switch. But yes, awesome stuff all around. So check out some of the videos that I did previously. I actually had a big video on the big upcoming PS5 and Nintendo Switch RPGs here in the next few months, 2023. So make sure you check out that video when you get the opportunity if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace.